Hi, welcome to the Fitsquad Nutrition video series, where we bring you the best in common sense food tips for everyday living. If you have any specific requirements or questions that you want to ask us, please do on info@fitsquad.ie. Okay, so today we're going to talk about supplements and why take them, who should take them, when to take them. Neil is our Fitsquad nutritionist and you're going to give us a run through.
Yes, generally people shouldn't really need to take supplements in their diet, should their diets be nutritionally balanced, but sometimes they're not nutritionally balanced and also activity levels will dictate whether we should take them or not. So for example, the likes of your vitamins and minerals every day, ideally you would get all of those from your diet, from your fruits and your vegetables, your lean meat protein sources, but that sometimes isn't possible. So there's no harm in supplementing your diet with the likes of vitamin C, vitamin B, folic acid. Secondly, the two vitamins I would recommend everybody to take, regardless of age, gender, ability level, would be your omega-3s, fish oils, which, because we don't get a lot of fish in our diet and classically in Ireland, so that would be number one. And secondly, vitamin D. Vitamin D's main source is from the sun, which again we don't get a lot of in this country.
And if you feel run down, is that when you should be looking at taking more supplements?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're run down, it's generally too late to start taking supplements.
Okay.
That's when your immune system has become compromised. So the best advice I can give is that if you're going to take supplements, to take them on a regular basis, or eat a healthy, balanced diet on a regular basis, one or the other. Okay, great. The other thing we're often asked about in Fitsquad is protein. Why take protein shakes? And there's, I suppose, a mentality out there that maybe they're just for bodybuilders. Can you maybe give us some clarity on why take protein? Yeah, absolutely. Classically, we take in too much protein in our diets anyway as an Irish people. But for people who are doing higher activity levels, higher intensity activity, long duration sports activities or endurance events, they should be supplementing their diet with protein immediately after exercise. Protein is required for the rebuilding and resynthesizing muscle tissue and the recovery after post-training. So it's very important that people taking part in those events should take a protein supplement post-training. And if you're trying to lose weight, you don't take in additional protein? You wouldn't. I try to tell people not to drink their calories if possible. So you want to look at your calories, number one, then the sources of those calories and the time at which you eat. So if you're trying to lose weight, taking in additional calories in terms of a protein shake doesn't make sense. Okay, cool. What have we got next? Next is focus more on the strength and power athletes, which would be creatine. Now classically, creatine was a bit of a grey area on whether you should supplement your diet with it, but research is overwhelmingly in favour of creatine intake. Increases your speed, your power and your strength in all areas of those types of sports like rugby, Gaelic football, adventure races, all of those. So creatine would be a great supplement to the diet. Okay, and last but not least, the gels, the dreaded gels for some. So these are used a lot for marathons and again adventure races. What's your view on gels, Neil? Absolutely. If you're taking part in something that's long duration or that is going to cause the onset of fatigue, then you should definitely think about taking in a gel. They're very quick energy. They're basically delivered straight into the bloodstream and straight into the muscles upon digestion, so they're a great idea. Now you get different types of them. You get the ones with caffeine, you get loads of different brands, but essentially they're just all carbohydrate gels. They come with the same amount of energy. It all depends on taste and personal preference, really. I would recommend that people try them in training first before they try them in events. You don't want anything to spoil your race day. Taking anything on the race day can compromise your actual race day. You don't know what effect this is going to have on the body, so don't do anything that you wouldn't do in training. Okay, great. So overall supplements, I suppose to summarise, you should be able to get them in your food ideally. Yes. If you can't, it's okay to take your additional vitamins, your omegas and your vitamin D. Yeah. Protein's good for all your strength training. Absolutely. And as is your creatine. Yes. And then for a lot of endurance and quick release of energy for sports that last longer than that, your gels are pretty good. Absolutely. You want to look at it on an individual basis. Yeah. So if your body requires it, then look at each individual component and take the required amount. And do your research before you take it. Exactly, do your research. Okay, Neil, thanks a million. No problem.